classic album cover. He was telling you, I am all that I used to be. We simply forgot who we was, or who we are. And these album covers are just sigils and archetypes to remind us along the way so we can begin to intertwine that DNA back to who we was, who we are, and who we always will be. Hip-hop was that force, that music. And remember, when this was jumping off, this is a part of the time when they was COINTELPRO or the hip-hop police and all them began to get back in to break this up, because they began to figure out that we were conveying messages even on a subconscious level to each other. Because remember, the conscious mind is the weakest mind. It's your subconscious, superconscious mind that they really after. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is really all about. So a lot of times they're conveying messages to each other. That's what Masonry is all about. It's not about the reed and all that old shit. It's about signs, symbols, and archetypes. Speaking in languages that don't require language or verbal language. So once you begin to figure out, Masons are having major conversations with each other on television. The way they move their hands, the way they lean, and they're telling those who are in the higher order, I'm just here bullshitting these TV people. Watch my hands. You know where I stand. All of that's critical. So we kind of forgot who we were, and a lot of times we're waiting for the great ones to come back, but we the great ones. We here already. Boom. Look at that. That's Akhenaten and my boy Rizza. That shit is crazy.
That's in our genetic bloodline. In our genetic bloodline, let us know who we were. Scientists try to say that Akhenaten had elephantiasis, some craziness that made his lips bubble all big. But if you look, it's us. They do anything to deface you and let you know it wasn't you that blew the nose off. But if you look, the RZA, grandmaster producer, he's of the same lineage, and that's why he is so masterful. And you can't take nothing away. The same cheekbone structure, that's him.
And we all know somebody who look like Akhenaten. And I got cousins with heads big as this. Like, damn, where nigga we get this head from? You know what I mean? Because it is who we are. Look at Jordan. Look at homie here. If I put this garb on Jordan, kick him on. And Jordan can fly. He's telling you, this is who I am.
And keep Jordan in mind, because we're going to talk about him a little bit later. He's giving you an offering. That sneaker is an offering. We're going to break down the whole science of Jordan, his shoes, and what it really means. Because Jordan, that is the blood lineage. And the cracker knows who Jordan is. He knows that Michael Jordan's DNA is a pristine element that he has to house and keep us from knowing who Michael Jordan actually is. And that's Jordan's lineage. That's why he can fly. He's of royalty.
Exactly. All right? Look at the Queen Latifah.
Got to give it up to the sister.
When she used to wear the crown, you know what I'm saying? That was an archetype symbol telling us, oh wow, our sisters did wear crowns. Her name is Dana Owens now. You know, they knocked the crown off Queen Latifah's head a long time ago. All right? They bended that with putting her in these movies that have nothing to do with royalty whatsoever.
Making her take that crown off and wear that blonde wig and all that crazy.
Yes, yes, that is a ritual in Hollywood. Turn your hair from black to blonde. And you know, your hair represents your crown. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It represents so much of spiraling energies, how we receive messages from beyond. With our hair, our crowns, you know what I'm saying, the things of that nature. Because your crown will represent your state of consciousness at any given time. So they systematically tore this sister down. But she allowed it to happen. Because if you want to play in Hollywood, if you want to play, there's just a certain protocol that goes along with that play.
You got to conform.
And they're doing rituals with everything they do. By the time we finish here tonight, we're going to show and prove that. You know what I'm saying? So while we in this realm, they're in other realms playing checkers and chess pieces with movies and movie characters that trickle down from the astral plane into a third dimension. Because we accept it through our psyche. And once we accept it, ball game. Because all they really want to do is get into our heads and make us think it's our own thoughts. We agree on everything we see, and everything that is going on is a collective agreement from us. We just don't know. All right? And they're using us as talisman. We're going to get into that too. Look at that. Look at that pose by Mary J. Blige. And Sphinx, which we know is female.
All of the phenotypes are intact, but you know, we're still the same people doing the same magic. And these album covers are delivering a message, let us know, let's get back. Let's get back into our science, because 2012 is arriving. It's time to get out of here. It's time to do other things. And they're trying to have us not actually look at the image and perceive it. But I know that a brother like me, I came back, and I'm here to perfect the science and put a reality to these images. That's why we're putting them in a certain order for you now to see, look at your music. The music is an unlock. The music is the key. The music is the unk. And if you put the key in proper place, you can unlock all of the suppressed dormant energy inside of you. We're sleeping giants. And all of this will wake you up just by remembering who you were, looking back in time.
Now, she may have not known that she took that photo in that position, or may not have known what it meant. But they know what it means. And they're using it to convey other messages. If I just saw that picture, because I knew what it was the minute I saw it, because I recognized the Sphinx at that angle. You see what I'm saying? But not saying she did, because all of them videos, a lot of times, someone else is producing those videos, or coming up with the treatment for the video. You know what I'm saying? And they know what time it is, and we know we just show up, play our part. You know what I'm saying? Very few, some of us do know. Hit the next slide.
In other words, they acknowledge who we are more than we do. They'll even put us in position, and the white man is very arrogant. He'll put it out there just to see if we recognize it. But we are recognizing now. The few of us who are in here are waking up.
Look at that.
Look at that.
You see what I'm saying? You can't tell me he's not from the old Mac family. I told him that recently. I'm like, dude, your head is like big. You know, no disrespect. You know, the shit is like giants.
That's why we built those colossal heads, so we can remember it, and now you can't say nothing.
And look at his nose. The more oxygen to the brain, the more you can achieve and assess. We know oxygen is everything. Say it again. KRS-One. KRS-One. Blastmaster. KRS.
That's
the teacher. You know what I mean? So he said himself, he's not sure if he's from the Olmec family. You know what I'm saying? But we waiting for somebody to come back, and they hear. It is you. It is I. It is us. We here. Let's stop playing.
And it's crazy because the white man says the reason why the Olmec heads look like that is they say we didn't have enough defined tools to actually, make the noses look a little bit finer. But you can't say that's not KRS. The white man will say anything to take away your credentials. And these ball players was fierce. The Olmec heads symbolize the ball players, the masters. They wore the leather helmets, as you can see, and they played a ball game that replicated the cosmos, the Milky Way galaxy, and they had to shoot through a hole to replicate the sun going back into the underworld. And the winner would get his head chopped off to go into the underworld to send prophetic messages to bring back energy towards the earth. So they reenacted the galactic cosmic procession of the equinoxes every time they played. Those are some fierce warriors. They had no fear. And you see the master teacher trying to remind us, have no fear. We at war right now.
The winner would get his head chopped off.
The winner, you look forward. You look forward to dying.
Imagine that sitting out there. I'm like, nah, son, go ahead. You got it. Damn, son, I lost, man. Bye. They wanted to win to go back to win because they know this is a suit. We wearing this shit.
That's like how Biggie was telling you, I'm ready to die. These brothers was ready to die because they knew this was not real. That's what the whole message of our whole legacy is about, that this is not real and we got to go back somewhere else. That's what Bambaataa was showing you. We come from another place, but we're visiting Earth. We're spiritual people having an earthly experience. And that's what this whole thing is about.
Next. Boom. Deep. Because mind patterns are everything. When a rapper's saying, I'm just keeping it real, I'm just rounding about what I see, the question I always pose is, who put these things here for you to see? And if all you are using to garner and project out is things that you see, that means that someone else can control the future. That's how they control the future. Pre-existing conditions plus current thought stream equals future conditions. And that's the way their alchemical process works. That's how they control the future, by giving you things to keep you grounded and projected on this nonsense. So if you come out and all you see is drug dealers, hookers, crime, and that's what you're projecting out. Remember, thought is everything. It's the building block for everything. So if that's what you're projecting out your pineal gland is crime, murder, because that's the illusion that you're picking up. It's all an illusion, and you're projecting that out. We are participating in our own demise. We are running in place, wanting to know why we can't get to a future that we desire, because we're still saturated in a third-dimensional paradigm that has been designed this way to keep them in control of the future. I talked about that yesterday. We are so busy on what's going on now. They are projecting the future because they know once they get to our babies, and our babies are growing up, our baby, if they can control the babies, they can control the future. It's not high science. But we caught in now. I got to pay my bill right now. I can't be running. That's what we are programmed to be thought into. And mind patterns. This is what shaped this man's mind when he stepped out as a young, and keep in mind, young children have so much power and so much energy that we shut off by bringing them into this third dimensional paradigm and locking them down. Don't lock your children down. My daughter, every day she's somewhere else with it. She talks to herself, and I don't bother her. Sometimes we catch each other talking to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a conversation here, she's having a conversation there. I don't want to stunt her creativity and her ability to perceive things how she wants to perceive them. That's very important. But we train them, look, shut up, sit down, stop being crazy. You see what I'm saying? And then we lock them in. And children in particular, when they are first born, remember, they're coming from a whole different place. They're trying to convey, and they're looking at us like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? But they can't even talk yet. You know what I mean? So, but by the time they're able to talk, we give them a language that is not their language. And we lock them down. Next.
This album, before we go, this album pretty much shaped my life. I was into Nas heavy. And he was saying that he was like, Nas is like the Afrocentric Asian, half man, half amazing. He was letting you know that we were partly human, but really something else. And this album, if you look at it, he showed himself as the Pharaoh, then as a child. He showed his progression and mutation that he was transforming. In the backdrop, we got the projects. He was letting you know the gods is coming from the hood, where the people are oppressed. And he was letting you know, listen to the mind of the black man. He was putting his baby picture on there like, I got something to say. And that was real profound what he said. I'm half man, half amazing. Nobody at the time was saying stuff like that. And he comes from a background of the nation of gods and earth. So he was fusing 5% lessons into the rhymes and letting people know we got to get back to the source of where consciousness is at. Because that's what rhymes really is. You take that out of it, now you just have, you know, an empty cookie cutter. But what type of ingredients are you putting in? Nas came in to put the real ingredients. And if you listen to his new album, he's telling you, don't let him kill me. I'm seeing something that's worth dying for. So, you know, that's real rare to get MCs going in. And you're seeing his growth. He's showing you it was written. This was already written. He's letting you know that there's a prophecy that's unfolding. And as the prophecy unfolds, you look in the mirror, you see yourself. It's nothing but yourself. It all applies to you.
And he was becoming a warrior. He was getting his lessons and initiation from the hood. You know what I'm saying? So he's also showing that. You know what I'm saying? His progression, growing. It's already been written. You can't walk with fear. It's already been written. Listen, the time you have to spend here, it's already been written. Enjoy it, but get on your grind. Get on your grind and do what you're supposed to be doing. Not doing what I was supposed to be doing almost killed me. And I got a book coming out in March, and I'm getting greater detail. I was literally dying from the inside because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. I was sitting on the bus, and my mind started resenting my body because my mind was so far ahead of my body, and my mind was looking back like, look at you, you're a loser. You just sitting here doing this rudimentary shit. We are far beyond that. It wasn't until I basically got on my deathbed that my book was written. You see what I'm saying? And then all the doors start opening up, the ancestors start making waves. So I walk with no fear. I be in all kind of places. Dolo. Under surveillance. I see them. I just came from Atlanta a couple of months ago, and they was following me so much, I started to ask them, did they want a cup of coffee? That's how close. I'm like, dude, come on. Y'all want coffee or something? I know y'all want coffee and donuts. I know y'all. You see what I'm saying? But this work has to be done. You know what I'm saying? It's no money, it's no glory in this. Nothing. It's just work that has to be done. And we all have a job to do here. We all have a job to do here. Next. Nostradamus.
Letting you know he has the clarity to be able to see into the future. And all that stuff about Nostradamus, we are the true prophets. All the shit that we wrote on the hieroglyphics about us going into bondage, just letting you know, wake up, yo. So now he got the clothes looking like a Jedi Knight, letting you know that we see everything from the same place. My reference point is that I came up from the project. So as they applied that pressure, you know, if you apply pressure on coal, on the blackness, you become a diamond. So he's letting you know, I got that diamond mind, I can see everything. And he's letting you know through his rhymes, if you listen to my metaphors and my flows, I'm going to paint a picture that's so beautiful that if you really tune in, it's going to be so clear that you're going to walk in the same light. And it's a sacrifice. He's growing. He's growing in wisdom, that he's beyond his years.
Exactly.
He was
that
about,
picture shows he's beyond
his years. He was in his 20s, but he's letting you know, I'm calling on my ancestors, and when that feels inside of me, man, I'm going to give you wisdom that is insurmountable.
Next. Yeah, I can't come behind that shit you just said.
Word up.
Boom.
Still slaves.
But when all the smoke comes and clears, we're still treated as slaves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So That's where he's got an N on his back, slave whipped. But he really wanted to name this particular album Nigga. And they gave him a whole bunch of flack from it, and he buckled at the very last minute and just decided to give you some sigils to let you know you still a nigga. Care how much money you make or how many lessons you study in their eyes. You see what I'm saying? So that's why this cover was so deep, where he, pretty much laid this stuff out.
There ain't no freedom of speech because they get simply silence. You can't call a nigga. Why can't I call and let my people know what you've been doing to me all these years? So you know what? Fine. A picture's worth 1,000 words. I'll put it on my back and let them know. It's all about us.
And the alchemical process of the word nigga itself. You know what I'm saying? They can say what they want to say, but them young dudes in the hood change the vibration and frequency of that word.
And Nas has a song on the album saying no matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now. A very profound song, let them know. We here now, the time is now. You can't really stop us.
And the language itself is a collective agreement. If we agree to, yo, son, that shirt is hot. Don't mean his shirt is on fucking fire.
Word.
You see what I'm saying? But we understand what it means. You see what I'm saying? Because we have collectively agreed that it's not our language. It told you in the Matrix, some rules can be bent and some rules can be broken. The English language is a linear, dumbed-down language. All right? So we had to throw some salt and pepper on that shit and bend it, you know what I'm saying? Because the way we picking up sound is totally different. So when I can come to any hood and listen for 10 minutes, and I got the lingo, I know how to communicate. And that also goes back to slavery time, when we had to verbally communicate without slave master knowing it was about to pop off. So we created all these little songs that had 2 and 3 different meanings based on your level of intelligence. If you heard it, it might just sound like a song, but it was also giving us deep instruction. You know what I mean? So hip-hop in itself, and a lot of our young brothers and sisters don't remember being hit with a whip or water hose. The next generation don't remember that. Hip-hop was bridging that gap with Public Enemy, KRS-One, X-Clan, Grand Nubian. They were bridging the gap. That's why they put Malcolm and Martin and all of them at the beginning of a lot of those records, because they were taking the baton from the civil rights movement and carrying it on. Then the Matrix kicked in. And they understood, they saw the picture, they stepped back and saw what we was doing, and they began to counter that with NWA and the Ghetto Boys, and we're going to talk about that. You see what I'm saying? Because they're not looking for people, they're looking for energy. I mentioned that yesterday. Because if the spirit of the people is moved, they cannot stop us now. As Nas just said, no matter how hard they try, they may be able to knock off a few people. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. We've been here a long time, we're going to still be here. It's about the energy. It's about the spirit of the people. What are they into now? That's why they got agents all over. What are they talking about?
They tried to shut this message down. If you remember in the 80s when I came into hip-hop, we was wearing the African medallions. You know what I mean? We was Public Enemy with rifles on our album covers. They've been trying to stop this positive rap down. That's when they came with the NWA and all of that. But if you see, not saying they can't stop it. The reason why they fear hip-hop so much is because it's different than any other black music. It's done by the urban youth. And in their Masonic Handbook, I remember Steve Copley years ago, when I first got into consciousness, told me, in their Masonic Handbook, Carol Quigley in the Masonic Handbook, he says it that what the Illuminati fears most is the urban black youth. And hip-hop was synonymous with the Black Panther Party. So they used the same COINTELPRO hip-hop police tactics to stop it. But now he's telling you can't stop this message. It's in me. So he has a track where he says, yo, don't let them kill me. So what will they do? Use one of my lines to slander me and call me a terrorist? Don't let them kill this. Don't let them kill me, but the message can't die. And that's why he's showing you that.
Yes. Boom. The ruler.
It's here. It's in us.
He from here. You see what I'm saying? He from here. The ruler. We kings. He was telling you right there, the ruler is back. Alright? He got his right eye covered, so he's dealing with the left eye horrors. Look at it like that too. Why is one eye covered? Left eye horrors. That deals with right brain energy. Anything on the left side, of course, deals with right brain, the creative aspect, the creative energy which he possessed. He's donned in all of, you might say, well, that's kind of gaudy, but we was gaudy. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing to us.
He wasn't just a MC. He brought a different swag. He was a storyteller.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing now. He was telling a story. Once upon a time, not long ago, where people wore pajamas and lived life slow, he was telling you a whole story and bringing you up to speed. And other MCs who came later took that same style, but just started talking about different things. So, the art of storytelling. He said, all right, let me take y'all ready. Here we go.
Which
And that's
is
what
the
we're doing
art.
today. Let's just tell a story of who the hell we were and how to get back. How to get back to what? To that, we royalty. And he's right from over here. He came to the U.S. and shut shop down.
And shut shop down. He came with his own style. He was the first one I know who multiple personalities. He was Slick Rick and Ricky D. That was unheard of before he did it. He became two characters to show you that we can live in multiple dimensions at multiple times. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? He was Slick Rick and Ricky D, and they would go back and forth. First one to ever do that. Again, supreme storyteller. Now, to show you how powerful his story was, the children's story, you know what I'm saying? 83, knocked down by a tree by a university, and the whole cop shit, it actually happened to him. Basically, almost word for word. So you have to watch what comes out of your mouth because it has a magnetic vibration to it. It has a signature that goes out, and if it don't hit its target, guess what? Shit's coming back. You see what I'm saying? So you have to watch what you say at all times. When Biggie said I was ready to die, guess what? He died. You see what I'm saying? It's all of Tupac shit was talking about death. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be careful based on how powerful your magic is. It's whether you know you got the magic or not. So we have to watch and guard our words. You know what I'm saying? Which is very key. Boom. Long live the king.
He's drinking purple, showing you that he's royalty. And he got the flat top looking like a Moorish fez.
That's the Moorish fez right there.
And he got the three goddesses, Isis, Hathor, and Ma, feeding them nectars, grapes. And grapes, represents him.
Force that music. And remember, when this was jumping off, this is a part of the time when they was COINTELPRO or the hip-hop police and all them began to get back in to break this up because they began to figure out that we were conveying messages even on a subconscious level to each other. Because remember, the conscious mind is the weakest mind. It's your subconscious, superconscious mind that they really after. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is really all about. So a lot of times they're conveying mess. All of that's critical. So we kind of forgot who we were, and a lot of times we're waiting for the great ones to come back, but we the great ones. We here already. Boom. Look at that. That's Akhenaten and my boy VesVes. That shit is crazy.
That's in our genetic bloodline. In our genetic bloodline, let us know who we were. Scientists try to say that Akhenaten had elephantiasis, or some craziness that made his lips bubble all big. But if you look, it's us. They do anything to deface you and let you know it wasn't you that blew the nose off. But if you look, the RZA, grandmaster producer, he's of the same lineage, and that's why he is so masterful. And you can't take nothing away. The same cheekbone structure, that's him. And
we all know somebody who look like Akhenaten. And I got cousins with heads big as this. Like, damn, where nigga we get this head from? You know what I mean? Because it is who we are. Look at Jordan. Look at homie here. If I put this gun, boom, Nas. This was a classic album cover. He was telling you, I am all that I used to be. We simply forgot who we was, or who we are. And these album covers are just sigils and archetypes to remind us along the way so we can begin to intertwine that DNA back to who we was, who we are, and who we always will be. Hip-hop was that messages to each other. That's what masonry is all about. It's not about the reed and all that old shit. It's about signs, symbols, and archetypes. Speaking in languages that don't require language or verbal language. So once you begin to figure out, Masons are having major conversations with each other on television. The way they move their hands, the way they lean, and they're telling those who are in the higher order, I'm just here bullshitting these TV people. Watch my hands. You know where I